Good morning, good afternoon, good night. My name is Mona Loy of Blackbright News, and today's topic is about the war on relationships. Or should I say, well, when you think about the war of relationships, it's actually a war on the family. And what's disconcerting is that how relationships are breaking down, especially among the younger people. The ones who, like our parents and our grandparents, they seem to be able to stand the test of time. They have their morals, they have their set of commitments, and they have reasons why they are together. Young people or people of ages between 20 to even 50 are not doing so well with relationships. There's no tolerance, there's too much distractions, and because of that, relationships aren't working. And we have to ask ourselves, why aren't relationships working? Why is the family network breaking down? Because if a couple cannot work, which is the foundation of a family, how is the family going to sustain itself? It can't. And that is why there's so much turmoil. Because if the mother and father can't get it together, can't come to some kind of agreement, can't rationalize or have conflict resolution, what happens to the children? They're impacted by that. And what we're finding now is that people just do not have the time. They either give all their time to work. If they don't give the majority of their time to work, they give their time to hobbies, they give their time to games, they give their time to entertainment, they give their time to sports, and the relationship gets the leftovers. Whatever's left, that's what the relationship gets. The tired part of you, the disinterested part of you, the unglamorous part of you. The part that just says, oh, I can't be bothered. I've been with them, he knows me, she knows me. It's okay. Not to worry. Don't make no effort. It's time to be intentional with your relationships. It's time to make an effort. It's time to treat your relationships as a business. Because historically, relationships were a business. It wasn't about all this romantic fluffy stuff where two people fall in love, they're all goo goo gaga, they go off into the sunset and have babies and get married and live happily ever after, not necessarily in that order, but you get my gist. People are looking too much to the media for what a relationship means, and a relationship, they won't tell you what it takes to be a relationship. A lot of times when we're in a relationship, who have we got as our role models? It's either our parents or our family members, TV or whatever. But we got no one really telling us what to do and what to expect from a relationship. A lot of time we learn by default. We learn by tripping up and getting up and trying again and trying again and trying again. Sometimes it's okay to try again. You've met somebody who's on par with you, who understands your idiosyncrasies and who's willing to accept the trial period. But you get others who think, oh, bloody hell, I can't be asked. Keeps tripping up over the same thing all the time, not realizing that no one has been taught how to have a relationship and sustain a relationship. Now, if you were to treat a relationship as a business, okay, even something like pretend it's your workplace. When you go to work, you don't quibble about every little thing with your colleagues. You know, if they haven't washed out the sink, you don't make a big deal about it. You might huff and puff, but you're not going to go and approach them. You might, but you're going to be very diplomatic in the way you approach them. You know, you can have that kind of calmness about you when you're dealing with issues. Think about the way you resolve issues at work and see if you can extend that in the family. Think about the planning you do before you go into work. You know what you're going to do. You know how your day is going to go. Hopefully, there will be times when it gets interrupted and things go, but you will kind of sort yourself out around it. And you know that you have to have a certain disposition and be professional at work. Why not extend that planning to your home life? Say to your partner, look, what are we going to do today? What is the best way to get everything done between us? How should we be doing this? How should we be doing that? Is there anything that's not going right at the moment? Set yourself a time aside. Have a date every Friday night or, twice a week where you actually have a date. You can have a meal, but it's there to discuss certain issues, things that you haven't been able to talk about. So you have something to look forward to. And at the end of that date, you come to some kind of resolution. You know that you're going there to talk about issues, so you can plan what you want to discuss in advance. You can ensure that when you discuss in advance, because you've had time to think about it, you're not going to be angry, you're not going to be irritated. You can think about the way you're going to put it across so that nobody gets uptight. It's important to do that. It's important to organise your time. It's important to be intentional with your time with each other and not just give each other the leftovers. Make an effort with the way your appearance. Wear cologne when you're going out for dinner. Okay, it's your wife or your husband or your partner, whoever it is. Make an effort. It's no point saying, okay, you're going to go on a date and you just think, oh, well, I can't be bothered to change my clothes. Everything takes an effort, and the same effort you take to get up and go to work, put that effort into your relationship as well. There's lots of things that you can do. And if you mirror your work situation or any kind of professional situation and bring that to home, I'm sure it's going to be good. And also, when you think of relationships with a business, there's a reason why you entered that relationship in the first place. Now, if you entered that relationship for the two of you to achieve something, keep that goal in mind and keep reminding yourself and keep having milestones on how you're going to achieve that goal, so that when you have these little conflicts, you know that what your original intention was. Sometimes when you work in the workplace, your goal is to have promotion, even though promotions don't really exist these days. But you have a goal, whether it's to get a pension at the end of it, whatever it is. When you're in a relationship, have that goal. I know that with my mum, she knew that when she got married, her goal was to buy a house. And she knew she needed her husband or my stepfather to do that. And that's what she did. So regardless of what he did, that was her motivation, and that's what carried them through until he died 60 years afterwards. You know what I mean? There was a woman at work and she said, oh, I can't stand it, I don't want to go home, this and that, the kids are around and they're making a mess, and I don't, everybody's expecting me to do everything and I can't cope. And I said to her, why don't you make it participatory? Write down the days of the week, and you write down, and all of you get together as a family and decide who wants to do what on each day. That way people are responsible for what they've chosen to do. They realise that it's your cry for help. And, if they've got any kind of empathy at all, they will come to some kind of agreement. As it goes, she hasn't discussed it yet. But my point is, there are ways around conflict. There are ways around bad behaviour. And if you talk about it and you make it seem like a team effort and you give people each other responsibility of, discussing why they do certain things. Why is it that when you've seen the kitchen nice and clean, and you decide to use the kitchen, what is it why you don't feel as though you can clean up after you? What is that about? If you're the last one that gets out of the bed, What is it why you wouldn't think about making their bed up? Find out the reasons why they do things. Why do they, use the last drop of orange or whatever it is in the fridge, leaves a tiny little fragment that you can't even do anything with, and they put that bottle back in the fridge? Why do you do that? What is the logic behind it? Try to find out their thinking and try to come to some resolution the same way you would at work. I'll tell you something, it would just change things. It would make relationships less emotional. And it's the emotions that damage relationships these days. People getting caught up in their emotions, getting angry, getting frustrated, instead of seeing the relationship as a business model and working accordingly. I'm sure if you try this technique, I'm sure it will be better. And also, if you haven't met anybody yet, that's even a better way to start off. Try and meet somebody through recommendation, by word of mouth, and treat that person like a network, like you're headhunting, or, somebody, it's a referral. And then once you know that the person, of course, you have to respect the person who's recommended, then you start talking to that person and see what the two of you can bring to the table. And you do like what I said with relationships that are already established. You work towards a business plan. You have organizations, you have rewards, you have challenges, and you have conflict resolution. And you work around it, how you're going to deal with each situation as it comes. And if you're proactive instead of reactive, you're bound to get a better result. So let's try and work at getting relationships right. Because in getting relationships right, we can get the family right. And then when we get the family right, we've got the community right. And once we've got the community right, we've got the world right. Wow, that does sound a bit idealistic, but it's worth a go. Let me have your thoughts. Bye-bye.